So good afternoon, everybody. Am I audible to all? Please answer. Okay, great, great. Good evening. So we will start with the forestry. So first of all, congratulations to all of you that you are writing forest mains. And because there are very few people who write forest mains, you are fortunate and you have good potential to be in the forest list, final list. Okay. And secondly, out of total students who are writing mains or who have qualified for mains, only 60 to 70% people write mains. Okay, so you should also know this. So your chances of getting the selection is also have also increased. So this is the means trend for last 4 5 years. And even at the centers like Delhi, I could see only 70 to 75% who were writing the exam, and uh, other seats were vacant. So, so you have a lot more chances to be into the final list. Okay. So let me begin with the forestry. So I assume that all of you have one of the optional subject that is forestry for the mains, right? So it is exclusively for the forestry paper. For English, general English, I will take another session later on. So now I will begin with the forestry. So I would like to first of all let you know that what are the components of the forestry as a subject. Okay. So first of all, there is in the paper one there is one section is called silviculture, and another section is there which is called agroforestry and all general forestry things, like environmental conservation, biodiversity. These are all almost related with the GS part, either in geography or in environment or any other subject like agroforestry, social forestry we read in geography. है So this is more or less a general part, section B of the paper one, and section A of the paper one is the core forestry that you have to understand first of all. Are you able to see the PDF which I am sharing now? Okay, great, great. So now coming to the paper two. In the paper two, the section A is also again the core forestry, like forest management and management systems, forest working plan, forest mensuration and remote sensing, surveying and forest engineering. These are the subsections in the section A of the paper two. So you can uh, s- 1 minute. Okay. So this is paper two, and then again in paper two, the section B of the paper two, there is lot of the this GS part is there. Okay, apart from few subsections like forest ecology is there. So you have to read these topics in little more depth, like forest ecology, soil, and how what kind of soils are there, all these things, and other things like forest protection and wildlife biology, forest economics and legislations. So all these things you have already read under the GS part during your CSE preparation. So this is more of a general part. Section B of both the papers is more over related with the GS part, and section A is related with the core forestry. Okay, so I will begin with the how to cover the forestry syllabus. So first of all, there is one book called Manikandan and Prabhu. You must be knowing that book, Indian Forestry by Manikandan and Prabhu. I will show you the book. So this is the book, this one, Indian Forestry by. Now they have published the eighth edition. So this is the book, you can buy it and you have to read it cover to cover at least one time. So more or less, it covers all the syllabus in the as per the syllabus given by the UPSC. So you will be able to understand the 1 minute. You will be able to understand like what is this forestry subject all about. Okay, so and also in line with the UPSC syllabus. So that is the good thing that and which is given in this book. So I hope you are able to see this book, Indian Forestry by Manikandan and Prabhu. So you have to read this book at least once. So it will take around 4 to 5 days or maybe more, given depending upon your speed of reading. So maybe 8 10 days it may take. Okay, so that is not a problem because you have from today is 18th, I think. So 18th to 27th, you have almost 40 days for the exam. So 10 days you can take to read this book, and also similarly highlight this book whenever you are reading this book, because almost all the components of this book are already known to you in some or the other way. Only few components are there which may be alien to you. Otherwise, all the other things are known to you because of your GS preparation or prelims preparation for the Indian Forest exam. Yes, yes. Start with the first chapter itself, है ना? And as wherever you feel like sometimes this book becomes boring because there are many technical words are being used in some of the chapter. So then you can switch on to means after reading that chapter you can switch on to certain topics which are general in nature, which are not difficult for you. Okay, so that you do not lose the interest in the subject. And let me tell you, this is a very, very interesting subject. You will find all the topics which are mentioned there are very much related with the application on the ground, in the forests. Okay, so this book is essential for you. Secondly, there is one component under the paper one. I will tell you, Indian forest. Yeah. So this is the paper one under this silvicultural general. This first chapter is silviculture general. So you will able to understand what is silviculture and what are its components, how the nurseries are being planned, what are the site selection, and all these things you will be able to understand, है ना? Then there will be coming this silviculture systems, है ना? You can skip this chapter for the time being and read all the chapters first and then come to this chapter because this is very, very technical in nature. The second point of the paper one, है ना? Section A, paper one. So you have to understand that, and it may use many technical words, so you may not understand this. So I will advise you to go through one book called L.S. Khanna, Principles of Silviculture by L.S. Khanna. There is one book. So under that book you will be able to understand the silviculture systems in a very good manner, है ना? And they have given lot of diagrams, case studies. Make note of those things. So in this particular book they have given, in the Manikandan book they have given in very brief, so you may not be able to understand, but in LS Khanna book it has been given in very much detail. So I don't know whether it is available online or not, but it is available in the old Rajendra Nagar market. Okay, so you can buy from there, and it is a very thin book, not the bulkier one. There is it will be available in photocopy because the original book is very, very costly. It is the foreign publisher book, I think. So therefore it is very costly, so you can buy the photocopy. It is available in, I think, at image runners also, you know? So you can get from there. So that is the another source for this, for the forestry part. And then and all this silviculture, mangrove and coal desert you will be able to understand from the this Manikandan book only, that there is no need to buy any other book or refer any another source. Then coming to the silviculture of trees, so there are total 20 trees which are given here. The Acacia catechu, Acacia nilotica, Acacia auriculiformes, Albizia lebec, and all these species. So you go through the previous year papers of the last 4 5 years, you will be able to identify few species which are regularly asked again and again. So you just have to mug up the silviculture. Silviculture, what does silviculture mean? Silviculture refers to the behavior of trees or the behavior of a particular species, you know? Like when does its leaves falls, when does the flowers arise, and when the fruits are there, and what are its resistance with the uh, uh, fire or sunlight or shadow or the snowfall. So all these things are covered under the silviculture of trees. So You have to remember the silviculture of these important trees like acacia catechu is one. So they will every time they ask around 5 trees in the mains exam. Okay, so you have to write those 5 trees only. And you uh, yeah, I think there is one. Yes, it is there. I think in this Manikandan book only they have given the previous year questions at the end of each of the chapter, so you can go through that. Okay. In most of the chapters they have given, but I am not sure whether in all chapters they have given or not. Okay, so just go through that only. Then coming to this section B of the paper one, agroforestry, social forestry, joint forest management, and tribology. For this Manikandan book is sufficient. You don't have to go anywhere else. You know, so all the topics are covered in this book comprehensively. That is it. Means social agroforestry, social urban forestry, JFM, tribology. It is there uh, in the Manikandan book. Forest, soil conservation, watershed management. These are very general topic. You can easily understand these topic from anywhere. So better to stick to one book like Manikandan so that you do not have to worry about the coverage of the syllabus, like from where to cover the whole of the syllabus. Then environmental conservation, you know it very well. Then biodiversity also, you know, tree improvement and seed technology. This is little bit a technical topic from the forestry point of view. So for this, you can read this Manikandan book. That is sufficient. You don't have to go anywhere else. So up to paper one, I think you should be it means your doubt about from where to cover this syllabus, you should be sure, है ना? So I think yes, you can ask the questions about paper one if you have any. Uh, yes, there is one topic called silviculture systems under the paper one, section A, point number two. Okay, are you getting paper one, section A, point number two, silviculture systems? Yeah, so there are different type of silviculture systems. Yeah, it is there in the LS Khanna, and it is given in a very means lucid manner. You will be able to relate one silviculture system with the another, so it will be very easier to understand. Yeah, Manikandan is sufficient for all the other topics. Okay, and apart from this, you can also refer to one notes available of Rishabh Gupta sir. He is some 2014 year IFS officer. So he had made certain notes in the handwritten mode. So it is available in the market. It is some 100-page book, and you can get it from market. And means the crux of this whole book, Manikandan book, it has been given in that particular notes. So you can refer to those notes after reading this Manikandan book. Okay, or either way, you can do reverse also. Like you can read first of all the notes of Rishabh Gupta sir, and then read the Manikandan. But I will prefer to read Manikandan first. Okay, so you can take a call. I'm not sure about it, but okay. Okay. Then you can, yeah. Yeah. No, you have to focus on diagrams as well. है ना? So you cannot skip the diagram because the forestry is a topic or is a subject which involves lot of means science, and science can only be explained through the diagrams. So diagrams are essential in this subject. है ना? So you uh, means almost in every question there was one or two diagrams. Okay, you have to just make rough diagrams, not like very means accurate diagrams that will do. है ना? So and you can means refer Rishabh Gupta sir's notes also for diagram, and also Manikandan book. You know, whatever you are comfortable with, you just compile all these diagrams in a separate notebook or separate means what we can say 10 pages or 12 pages. You know, and draw them with the color pencil. You should have the pencil color with you and draw with them. You know, like you have to draw the canopy of the tree with the green color, and the trunk of the tree with the brown color, and ground some grasses are there which are green, and again ground which is brown, and if you have to show the water, then use blue color. So all these things you have to do, so it will give value addition to your answers. And then one more thing means use these means you have to remember a few of these species names, है ना? Like Acacia catechu, what is it, and what is its means what are its characteristics? So it is Acacia catechu is a desert species. You should know this. Huh? Wherever you have to mention few things about the desert species or some deciduous forest, then you have to use the technical names of those species. Like Azeti recta indica. This Azeti recta indica is the neem that we call in Hindi, so it is a deciduous tree. So wherever you are mentioning about deciduous trees or deciduous forest, you can mention about it, Agenda recta indica. You know? And bamboo species, you have to remember few bamboo species as well. So these all species, they may seem very means uh, you may be afraid of those species names right now, but by the end or by the 20 25 days, when you are accustomed to all these species names, you will these all species name will be at your fingertips. You don't have to worry about them. Okay, like citrus devdara, it is simply devdar. Dalbergia sisu, it is sisam. Eucalyptus, it is they are the tall tree, the white tall tree. So you will be able to understand them. Prosopis juliflora, है ना? It is the simple babul, the vilayati babul that we call in Hindi. Okay, so you these all species name will be at your fingertips, so you don't have to be afraid of these species names. You just read in the once or twice, and then you will be able to understand their characteristics and relate with the means the forest type from which they belong. And yeah. I will come to that also. The YouTube videos are there. One is from IIT Kanpur professor was there. Some IFS officer is there who was there in IIT Kanpur for teaching, and his videos are there. Some I think some 20 videos are there, 20 25 videos. And one more thing, there is another source from YouTube. There is one teacher. I'm not Hornbill classes or uh, something like that is there on the YouTube. You just refer to those videos wherever you are not able to understand things, you know? And whenever you are means not reading, or you are having dinner, or you are means doing anything else, you can refer to those videos, so that every time means whenever you have time, you are just ingrained into the forestry itself. So that is how it works, you know? So these two sources you can refer, है ना? Like one is the IIT Kanpur professor videos, and second one is the Hornbill classes videos. I understand that Hornbill videos are not complete, but whatever they have given, that is adequate. And if you want to watch all the videos, then you can purchase it from there. I think it is not a costly course. Some 4 5 thousand they take, and they provide all the videos, so you can take it. And can you please share your group link or file name so I can search on? Okay, sure. Okay, you are talking among yourselves. Evolution Institute you can avoid for the time being, है ना? For the mains part, because it will complicate your preparation. Or I think it is the forestry is not a very difficult subject. You can yourself do it very well. So that is my view about it. Otherwise, yes. Yes. Tests. Yeah. Yeah. Test series is there of Shankar IAS, which I had also enrolled. Although I could not write all the tests, some 8 tests they had given, I could write only 4 or 6 tests. Okay, so you can enroll into test series. It will give you certain means schedule. Like you have to do within 10 days, you have to do section A of the forestry paper one, or section B of the forestry paper one. So in that sense, the Sankarai. In that sense, the test series certainly helps. You can join it. Okay. Forestry can be completed in 40 days. Yeah, it is. It can definitely be completed. Let me tell you my fact that I had my mains was completed on 17th, last 17th January, and till 26th I had my UPPCS exam. Okay, I had UPPCS mains, and I had given that, and from 27th onwards, I had started to prepare for Indian Forest Service examination. And on 28th of Feb, I had my mains of Indian Forest exam. So I had only 30 days, 30, 31 days. So I could complete in those 31 days also. So I think you have 40 days, so you will be certainly be able to complete the syllabus. And one more thing you have to remember, that all the people who are writing this exam, most of them are like you only. They have started to prepare only after mains, so only mains of the CSE. So you don't have to worry about that. Okay. Do you know Saurabh K rank 45? Uh, no, I don't know her. I might have met him, but I do not remember actually. In the IFC there are many people, like 480, 490 people are there, so I may not remember his name. Okay. So let me, sir, there are 36 young forest and their management from IIT Kanpur. Yeah, you can go through them. You do not refer them as the means your fundamental source, है ना? You just have to refer them to understand the things, like how the forestry works and how the forest mensuration or the forest measurement, all these things work, how the different apparatus works. When you are not able to understand from the book, then you have to refer those videos, or in the free time you have to refer to those videos. Okay, so let me come to the second paper. So in the second paper, forest management and management systems, forest working plan, forest mensuration and remote sensing, surveying and forest engineering are there. So all these things are also again the core of the forestry. Stand and okay. In the forest management, it is a very simple topic, like how to manage the forest. How means what are the different kind of uh, means they use the silvicultural systems in different kind of forest management techniques, and there are management systems which are also different kinds. Like they have given certain kind of management systems, site specific planning, strategic planning. So these are very, very simple. You will be able to understand from the Manikandan book only. Then again, forest working plan, it is also simple. Means they, for the 30, 40 years, they make a plan like how, what are the plantations they will plant in the forest, and what are their felling period, and all these things are very easy. You will be able to understand. Then again, forest mensuration and remote sensing. Remote sensing is the general topic. It is like the GS only. But the forest mensuration is related little bit with the trigonometric ratios. Like means in our school classes of ninth and 10th, we could see, or we were uh, privy to the means uh, tan theta equal to the height of the tree and the distance of the tree from the observer. है ना? And like sine theta, cos theta, all these theta or the trigonometric ratios are being used in forest mensuration. So if you are comfortable with those ratios, being you a technical means technical graduate, so you don't have to worry about them also, unless until you are core biology person. So like diameter, they will measure the diameter at certain 1.37 meter from the ground, girth, and all height and volume of trees. These are very simple things. You know, you will be able to understand from the book itself and also from the Rishabh Gupta sir notes. Then surveying and forest engineering. This is also a simple one. Means these are only factual things like roads and bridges. So how many types of bridges are there? So you have to write those bridges. They are given in this Manikandan book. Objects, types. Uh, Forest surveying, different methods of surveying. In the forest surveying topic, you have to refer to other sources as well, particularly the YouTube, because in this Manikandan book, you may not be able to understand this forest surveying properly because they have given in very brief, whereas this is a very means procedural thing. Like you have to do survey, so they have given 4 5 steps or maybe 10 steps. So you have to understand all these steps, and they ask this directly into the examination, like this type of surveying means they will ask like what are the procedure of this type of surveying. So you have to mention 10 steps there, so you have to understand that properly, then only you will be able to write. So for this you can refer to YouTube videos, particularly the civil engineering things. Okay, you can refer to surveying in civil engineering, and then you can relate it with the forest surveying. So that effort you have to do. It is not a big job. Just 1 or 2 days will be enough. Then coming to forest ecology and ethnobotany. These are simple topics. You can directly read from the Manikandan book. There is no need to go to any other source. Apart from the Rishabh Gupta notes that you have to do, because they have Rishabh Gupta notes are in very concise. And then ethnobotany, it is not a very, means they are not asking question on it. Then forest resources and utilization. Means forest resources are of many kind, like the non-timber forest produce and timber forest produces. Timber means that wood for the industry that we get from the forest, and NTFPs means non-forest produce, like that mahua drink, katha, and gums, resins. That all are there. So you just have to read them. Forest protection and wildlife biology. So injuries to forest, like fires or floods or any insect attacks or that locust attacks. So all these things we have to read in forest protection. And then wildlife biology, like what kind of animals are there in a particular kind of forest. Like some are the browsing animals, some are grazing animals. These are some technical words, but they have you just have to understand their meaning, and they will be very simple to you. You don't have to means afraid of the technical words. Grazing and browsing. Grazing means they are just eating on the ground, and browsing means they are eating on the trees also, like the giraffe or camel, they eat on the tree leaves, you know, and other goats and sheep, they are grazing from the ground only. So that is the only difference, but when we read it for the first time, it seems very difficult. So you have to have little patience while reading this subject. Forest economics and legislation. So forest economics, and under the legislation, you all are aware of these legislations like Indian Forest Policy 1894, 52, 90, National Forest Policy 1988, Joint Forest Management, Wildlife Protection Act. You just have to read them in little detail, so that whenever any question asked on it, you can answer them. And about the forest economics. So here also some of the technical or the mathematical things are there, like cost benefit analysis have to be done, and that what we call the break even point you have to find out. So all these things are there. So they are also very easy. Just you have to understand them from the as a concept. So that is about the paper two. Yeah, it is there in Manikandan book and also in the Rishabh Gupta notes. So I would recommend you to go through the Rishabh Gupta notes, because it will take Rishabh Gupta notes first, because it will take 2 3 days, and you will be able to understand means most of the topics of the forestry. Then you can refer to Manikandan book, because it will give you a confidence. Like I have known this subject in detail. At least all the technical words you are aware of, so you will not be afraid of reading them, you know. So I will ask you to read the Rishabh Gupta notes if you are having that, uh, and I will discuss with you the paper also, last year paper, so that you will be able to understand the what are the demand of this subject. So any question on paper 2 till now you can ask. Oh, yeah, I understand that. Yeah, I will take another session also, and I will be in touch with you through the Telegram channel. So don't worry about that. So let me show you the paper, last year paper. Any other question you can ask me? Yeah, go ahead, please. In the mains, na, you in the mains or in prelims? S- Yeah. For the GS paper, it is sufficient. It is completely sufficient. Okay. English, for English, you have to do certain things like means you have to read the letters, means informal letters, formal letters, and they sometimes ask this pressy writing also. So you just have to write one or two previous year papers, and that is sufficient. And apart from that, you also have to write, means you have also have to go through these synonyms, antonyms, and what they call the means similar kind of words, one word substitutions. All these things you have to read. uh, you you can refer to Arihant book for this. There is one Arihant book, general English book, and that is sufficient because in this exam the general English marks are counted in the merit, whereas in civil services the marks. Yeah, SP Bakshi book. Okay, you can go through that. And means I was saying, like in the civil services, general English paper is not counted for the merit, whereas in this exam it is counted and it decides your merit to a large extent. Yeah, yeah. I understand that. So for this, what you can do is you just have to read all the concepts which are given in the science book of this 6 to 10th. So none of those concepts should be alien to you. You should be able to write at least 125 or 120 words answer. So that you have to do. And another thing, you have to also read this means the general advancements in the science, like we do in the civil services exam. So both these things will be sufficient. Otherwise, there is no limit to the preparation of the science because there are a lot many topics in that subject. So these are two defined things which we can do for this exam. Other things, if they are asking, then you have to use your common sense. That is all. Okay. So, so one more thing is different in this exam. Like you have to write 6 questions, and all the questions are compulsory in GS paper. I am saying, and there are some 24 questions, and each question is each answer you have to write of 125 words. I think it should be 125 words. So it will be very easy for you if you have already written the CSE main, then it will not at all be difficult for you. And all those 6 sections you have questions from the different topics. Like in the first section they will ask the history, in the second question they will ask some science or geography, like that. In the third question they will ask polity, है ना? So I am sharing with you this question paper. So this is the general knowledge question you will be able to see now. Okay, so in the first question there are 6 questions in total. Six means 6 into 4. And in every question they ask two 15 markers and two 10 markers. So total 50 markers question are there, and total six question it becomes 300 marks paper. Okay. So in the first question, they have asked about the history, like Aurangzeb thing, a popular revolt of 1857, Mauryan period, administrative cultural feature of Chola Empire. So all you have read in your CSE preparation. Then in the second question, they are asking about few things like general things of environment, geography, or somewhere related with economy also. So you may not distinguish, but you have to misunderstand. Like in the third question, they are asking all about the polity things, discretionary power in some situation of governor, directive principles, Indian federal model, है ना? And fourth, they have asked about geography, Greenland ice sheet, bushfires in Australia, eco-sensitive zones, then environment. Then there is this science. What is GPS? How does it work? What does MRI stand for? What do you understand by hydrogen energy? Recently, the LSC was in news. So all these are either they are from the current science developments or from the basic science concepts. So that is how you can prepare. Yes, yes, definitely. I revised means 365 for science preparation, along with the 6th to 10th NCRT books. Because sometimes they ask about the hormones, also biological hormones, and how the plants grows. So we do not know. Means we could have, we might have read that those things in our school classes, but we do not remember those things now. So you have to just go through those things. So I am telling you this right now because you have time. Means you have 40 days from now, so that you can cover all these things at least once. So now, should I discuss the forestry paper also? Are you comfortable with it or? Oh, okay. Uh, I think there is no means choice available in this question. Sorry, it is like similar like the optional question paper, है ना? Our optional question paper of the civil services is there in which four questions are section A and four questions are in section B. So you have to choose like optional only. I'm sorry, I could not remember it. Forestry. So I am sharing with you the forestry paper one of the last year 2020. So what are the instructions here? These there are eight questions in all, out of which five are to be attempted. Okay, question one and five are compulsory. Out of remaining six, three are to be attempted, selecting at least one question from each of the sections A and B. So it is similar with the similar like the optional paper. So in the first question is of five. There are five questions, five subparts, and 8 marks each. So 40 marks it contains. So and the total marks for a paper are 240. So five questions you have to attempt of 40 marks each. So 40 into 5, 200. So first and fifth are compulsory. So now in the first question, you just have to write some facts. Like define silviculture, you just have to define the definition and relate the application of to different branches of forest. It is directly from the Manikandan book. And write the adaptive features of plant species of cold as it described. And these two sections, section A is from the section A of the paper one, and section B is from the section B of the paper one. That you have to remember. Unlike in optional paper, in CSE optional paper. So describe following terms. They ask the dominant, dominated, crop height, top height, hardening. These are very simple topics. Only thing is that there are lot of concepts in this book, or lot of definitions, or lot of terms are there. So you have to understand those terms. You should not confuse one thing with the another. Like crop height is there and then top height is there. So both the things are for a general people or a layman, these two things are similar. But when you read this in forestry as a technical person, you will be able to understand the difference. Then describe the reforestation techniques of mangrove forest. delta mangrove forest, coastal mangrove forest. They are given in the Manikandan book. Like, and again, they are asking for brief account of silvicultural characters and regeneration method, Acacia catechu populus, deltoids. So the question paper is directly almost from the syllabus only. Like pre-sowing seed treatments for the following tree species, Tectona grandis, Centellum album. So I did not knew these things, so I skipped this question, third question, and I wrote the fourth one. Then fifth one is again compulsory. You have to write the all the questions in this. So you might see the question paper. It is very means familiar to do. What do you mean by the population diversity? You can easily answer this right now, है ना? Yeah. What are the different methods to measure biodiversity? Alpha, gamma, beta. You must be knowing. Yeah, Tongia is I think about this Zoom cultivation. I think traditional agroforestry system. Tongia. I am not able to recall it properly. So it is very easy question, है ना? Is a type of traditional agroforestry system. I'm not able to recall it properly. Either it is in Africa, but it is given in your Manikandan book very properly. You will. It is a very simple question if you have read that book for once, है ना? Introduction of an exotic tree. This is also given different factors governing this successful introduction of an exotic tree species, and you will get a lot of time in while writing. Soil texture. This is eighth one. Orthodox recalcitrant seeds. Explain the methodology of environment impact assessment. You can answer this question right now also. है ना? Explain the methodology for environmental impact assessment. So many and what are the different soil types in India? Identify 5 tree species growing in each in alluvial soil, red soils, black cotton soils, arid and desert soils. What are the advantages, peculiar problems, and various steps in tree improvement? Tree improvement means improving its quality, like genetic methods are there, some non-genetic methods are also there. So through that way, they increase the quality of produce of the tree, like fruits or the timber. So all these things are very conceptual. So the question paper is not at all difficult, except a few questions, one or two questions may be there which you may not be able to answer properly. But that is fine. That happens in our GS, means CSE part also. Okay. And then coming to similarly, you have to answer in forestry two also, forestry paper two also. So you just do one thing, like buy that book from the book of the or the notebook of the Rishabh Gupta sir, and then read it in 2 3 days. There are only 100 pages, and then go through the book, Manikandan book, and along with that, means whenever you finish a chapter of the Manikandan book, then again read the Rishabh Gupta notes of that particular section, so that you will be able to relate the content given in the book with the content given in Rishabh Gupta sir notes. And wherever like silvicultural system, I have told you that you have to read it in the end or after having certain exposure with the forest, at least means 10 12 days you can read the silvicultural systems from the LS Khanna book. Okay, so that is all I can say about the forestry. And if you are means willing to watch videos of evolution also, then you can watch them. There is one crash course they do every year. I think last year they did not do because the time was very less. Otherwise they do. So if you can get those videos, then you can watch them. But you should be relying on these sources like Manikandan and Rishabh Gupta notes, and refer to videos only for those topics or things where you are not comfortable with while reading the book. Okay, so that is all from. y- Yeah, yeah, I will ask one of my friend who was geology topper. So let me ask him. He can also take a session. है ना? Yeah. So any other doubt regarding forestry you can ask. And remember that you should write at least few of the answers. Like you can means there are almost eight tests which Shankar IS offer in the test series, and out of that sorry, they give six tests. Out of these six, four are the sectional test and two are full length tests. So at least you should write sectional tests, like four sectional tests. So you will be having a writing practice for the forestry as well. So that is it. I will share my, if I can find my forestry paper, means my forestry answer sheet of last year, which I submitted in Sankar. So I will upload it on my Telegram channel, or I will make a separate channel for the forestry part, because on it can be diluted with the civil services thing. So, and this forestry subject is very, very easy. Okay, so you don't have to worry about this thing, like how will I be able to answer, or how will I be able to remember all these technical things. This will be very, very simple to you when after 10-15 days. Okay, so this is all from my side in forestry. If you want to ask anything, please ask. Uh, See, civils, in civils we write introduction, conclusion, and body part, है ना? Whereas in this you have to start with definitions. Wherever you are writing any answer, so you should start with definition, like forest management. If it is a question on forest management, you just start with forest. What is the definition of forest management? Whereas in our GS paper, we can write either the data or either any quotation or the Supreme Court comment or things like that. You know? But in this particular subject, you have to write to the point. Like in the, I will tell you the first question. Like they have mentioned, like define silviculture. So you directly strike on this, like silviculture is this thing. You don't have to make the background. Relate the applications of silviculture to different branches of forestry, then simply write application of silviculture to different branches. You don't have to make that background which we do in GS part, and also you don't have to write conclusion in most of the parts wherever it is not explicitly mentioned. Huh? So, so that is the only difference. And being it a technical subject, you can understand like uh, means you don't have to make too many you don't have to write too much literature in the answers like we do in our GS answers. uh, so you just write point wise manner. Yes. Yeah, I did not watch the all the videos of test series of the solution of the test series, but few places I referred to those videos wherever I was not able to get good marks, and the topics or the questions which I could not able to answer, I also referred to videos for that. So this is all. Okay, so let me close here. I am planning a session tomorrow on agriculture engineering. Okay, so there is one question in comment was, sir, is section A being more core forestry is more scoring than generalized section B? Uh, yes, definitely, because in the section A you write the technical things and you write the only the substance. Whereas in section B you can write little bit literature. Literature, I mean to say, like you can, if it is a question on tribology, then you may write different things regarding tribes which are there in the forest. Whereas in section A, if they have asked about the silviculture, then you will only write what is silviculture and what are its types. So in that way, section A is more beneficial, but you don't have much choice. You only have choice of one question. Otherwise, you have to write first and fifth compulsorily, then two question from one section and one from other section. So whatever you know very good, you should choose those questions. You know, you don't go by that idea like core forestry question is more rewarding and like that. So that thing you have to take care of. So we will plan another session after 10 or 15 days so that I can guide you when you are done with a few fundamental things in forestry. Okay, and I can answer you your questions then. So I will close here. So all the best, and you can start your preparation in 1 or 2 days. You know? And if you feel little bored in the beginning, you can refer to videos of Hornbill. And actually, the Hornbill teacher is the experienced person in the forestry subject. He has done his, I think, MSc or Masters or PhD in forestry. So he is a field worker in forestry. So he knows things in a very good manner. So, and he shows them in a very interesting manner also. So you will be loving his means way of teaching. So you can do that. Okay. So all the best. So I will close here. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.